what have you guys been up to during this quarantine, and how have you been passing the time?
Who wants to start?
You can start, Adam.
Well, personally, I've been like sleeping a lot. I mean, there's not much else to do. A lot of video games, a lot of sleeping. But besides that, I've been in here pretty much just practicing and playing and just fooling around on my drums and just having fun and spending a lot of time with my family and just like playing games and stuff. But just trying to make it go by quick without going crazy, you know. But
what games do you normally play right now?
Mostly the new COD. It's my favorite new Call of Duty.
What's COD?
Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. We haven't played yet, have we? Together?
No, we have to. No. And Brandon and I play together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you all big gamers, or is Adam the biggest gamer?
We're all I feel like we're all about the same, right?
Yeah, I'm a recreational gamer, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, outside of this pandemic, I don't think we've really hardly played video games at all. We're so busy with music.
Yeah, I play a little bit with like the kids, but
yeah,
you know.
Have any of you guys?
Me and my dad do the most video games because we beat almost all of our Spyro games.
Well, I used to play Spyro a lot growing up. I missed that game.
All we have is the third one to beat.
Yeah. We've been beating Spyro, and I've been working on re-recording all the Luminous Element songs, writing some new songs. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. Deb, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, as far as gaming, recreational hits the nail on the head. I've been doing a lot of like retro stuff. So like Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls, I've revisited that recently. So I've been sucked into that a little bit, but yeah, not a ton of stuff with the gaming side. Doing a lot of like writing and jamming here and there too with the quarantining time too. So
yeah.
Have any of you guys watched Tiger King on Netflix?
I haven't personally. My parents watched it, and my one of my sisters, but I haven't watched it.
Go watch it.
Is it good?
It's entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining.
I've heard a lot about it, yeah.
I don't know. I watched it. I thought it was hilarious, like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then it just kind of seemed like 4 hours of the same thing. So
more of them attacking each other.
Yeah. Like more.
So that's where all those memes are coming from.
Yes.
Like on Facebook, everything is Carol Baskin. Oh, that's cute. What is that?
I don't know.
It's not really showing. We did glitter paint projects.
Oh, I'm sure it came out great, Kaylee.
Quarantine project.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about your latest releases. Between the Few and the cover of Nirvana's All Apologies. It seems like the response has been really great. Would you consider this release your proudest moment of the past year? Or as a band, what would you consider your biggest highlight?
Well, that's a good question because so before we even dropped our first single, we dropped Between the Few in July, just the single. And but before that, we spent an entire year writing. We went to the studio, we recorded, and all 4 of us at the time, including Kyle when he was part of the project, we all went through like a 5-month stretch of just the worst times of our lives. Like some of us got out of relationships, different things happened, we moved, it was a pretty rough time, but we all kind of came together and these songs just naturally happened for us. And it was kind of like a revival for me personally, like saying I hit the lowest that I've ever been, and writing these songs and having these songs, holding on to these songs before we even released them was just like, wow, like this is what we can turn our pain and our past experiences to, and and this is something that we can all get behind. And then when it came to dropping our first song, Between the Few, in July, we were playing with Puddle of Mud the next day, and Adam was with us then. And but the response that we got, like we dropped this song on Friday. I think it was like July 12th. Played with Puddle of Mud on the 13th, and people were already singing the song. Like the song was not even out for 24 hours, and it was like people, the crowd was singing the song, and it was like an eye-opening experience, I think. Well, at least for me, because what came after that was not expected. Like we got picked up by Curtain Call Records. They gave us 2 festivals. We had I think we had 6 shows in August, and that like turned into having like 12 shows in August alone. And every weekend we were playing 3 shows, and it was honestly like I wish I could play that month like on repeat, because we went to Indiana, we went to Virginia, we went all the way upstate New York, like right by the Canadian border. We played in Providence. We played all over the place in April, and that whole month we gained so many new friends and so many different in states and towns, and it's like we really built this family around us, and it supported us through the next 4 months when we played I think 30 shows in 4 months, and it was awesome. Like it really pushed the release of. I mean, it just happened. Like we didn't really plan for it. We dropped this first song, and I mean we had like a press release that we were ready for the record, but it didn't. We weren't expecting to get tossed this show, and it just kept stacking on itself. It was cool. It was. I mean, I wish I wish we could relive that again, because now here we are, and it seems like we're back at square one. But it's a good thing. Like, I mean, you kind of make sense. I mean, we were running all over the place. We were tired, and but just because we weren't really ready for it. And we have a better plan. Well, we had a better plan for this year, but now I'm back to the writing board, and we've got a lot of songs in the work that we're heading in the studio next month for. And
that's gonna be fun.
We're back to a ground zero that I think we can really build up this next release to be something different, and hopefully another crazy experience.
Yeah,
Well,
it seems like you guys definitely had an incredible year, and I'm sure you guys grew a lot as a band and gained knowledge, about what works and what you want to do next.
Yeah.
Would you say your new songs will kind of have that same Seattle sound that you were going for, or will you kind of experiment a little bit?
I think, Brandon, that's a good question for you.
I'd say yes and no. I feel like we have a pretty good like root to our songs that you can really hear that kind of Seattle sound from, and that comes a lot from Dale's vocals. But we have a pretty wide spectrum of new stuff. We have some songs that are going to be a little bit heavier. We have a couple of songs that are going to be a little poppy, like pop rock, and pretty laid back. And then, so I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I guess Love Blind, it was a little bit more on the poppy sound.
Yeah,
I would say.
exactly. So we're kind of balancing that out right now. So there's going to be a few more tracks that are kind of like in that realm, and but there's like right now we're all working on a song that's like practically prog metal with vocals.
Oh wow.
So it's a little different, but it still sounds like us. So
yeah.
I think
Very
that's something
curious.
that we do. Something we do a good job with is keeping like a core sound that you'll know that it's Young Other, even though it doesn't sound like something we would have been expected to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think that Seattle grunge sound comes from Dale's voice the most. So
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean our guitar tones and even like the bass playing. I mean Devin's heavily in the '80s, but influence-wise, so it's like he's got a lot of that like play style on him, and then Adam's kind of more modern, and he's a Zeppelin fan too. So it's like we all just kind of bring these different, like totally different elements of rock, and we kind of bring it all together. And like Brandon's melodic. I mean, he came from the metal background, and he just like with music theory and putting the structure of rock. We've made this like melodic kind of design of rock, and like Brandon said, with all these different directions that we're kind of heading on, it's still gonna, whether it's gonna be this proggy metal song or this other couple pop rock songs that we're writing, it's still gonna sound like Young Other, and that's something that we hold pretty close to us because we enjoy just seeing what we can do together and explore different avenues.
Yeah, I think that's having different backgrounds and influences that helps give you that distinctive sound where people will hear the sound and go, oh, yep, that's definitely a Young Other song. Maybe you guys can talk a little bit about filming the music videos that you guys did and what that experience was like.
I don't know, Adam. You can talk about All Apologies. This is your first music video.
Yeah. So it's technically my first music video I shot with these guys because I mean, technically I was in between the few. I mean, oh my god, in Love Line towards the end, everyone's like sitting around and I'm in it for like I don't know, like what, 3 seconds maybe.
Yeah, it's like a cameo.
Yeah, that was my little Easter egg. But All Apologies, I was in the whole thing. So that was a lot of fun. We shot that at Fitchburg State University, and there was like no one there besides us, so we had like run of the whole place, and we were shooting some scenes outside, and Dale was shooting his iconic scenes when he bumps into all the people, and we were just it was just more like just everyone was just hanging out, and we were filming, and it was just cool because we were all just like one big family just trying to do the same thing, and it was just cool to be around and see all the like people with the cameras just doing their job and just everyone working and doing their thing. It's just cool to see it all put together, like, because when you're there you see all the individual pieces like separately, and then once it's together you're like, oh, it's just cool to see the final product after like seeing it being created. I don't know, it was just a cool experience, and it came out really, really good.
Yeah.
I think Mike did a really, really good job with it.
Yeah, Mike Cravata did that. He actually did Love Blind as well. I graduated with him from high school, and I was friends with him throughout high school, and we kind of just stayed buddies, and it's crazy to see how we've came together, and he's shooting our music videos and stuff now. We have another one planned for him later on this summer for another song that should be hopefully coming out this year, depending on this whole coronavirus thing. But he's done a very, very good job, and he's a very good storyteller with like especially Love Line. We kind of told him how we felt, and he knows how to get the right emotions seen on the actors' faces and different stuff like that. And I mean, he did really take into effect that All Apologies was a 90s song, a Nirvana song, and the style of shooting that he did and how he put the video together, it really did give that hint of like that 90s area with the blue background and like everything that was just kind of, and the camera angles. But then we had the modernized track over it, and it did kind of like play back and forth. It was cool. Like Adam said, it's cool seeing it all come together because that is their art, and they're taking our art and putting their art together, and it's just it's like you take a picture or somebody paints a picture and then somebody comes in and puts all the fine details on it. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, but you said it better. So
these guys take the cameras and they shoot.
No, I definitely see that. Yeah, it definitely has that 90s flair to it, but with a modern twist as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. No, you go ahead.
No, it's nothing.
Sorry. No, I was just going to ask, what about your influences? How does that resonate with you? Because I know you did also a cover of Alice in Chains' Nutshell, which I really loved. So I wanted to ask, what about those songs kind of resonate with you?
With me?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember doing
so,
an
like,
Alice in Chains guy.
How like the '90s era songs resonate with me and my influence, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so growing up as a teenager, I feel like if you're into rock, like Nirvana becomes like a voice for you, kind of in high school. Like if you're kind of one of the bullied kids, or you're like like one of the outcasts or whatever. I just feel like Nirvana is a very like angst voice that a lot of people can get behind, and I ended up getting behind it, and it really pulled me into like digging into more like, oh, what is this? And then I was like, I kept discovering more Seattle bands that all came from the same place, and it's like, what, like all these people are feeling this way, all of these people are rising at the same time. It's like, what's going on? And I started discovering Soundgarden and Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains, and I grew out of Nirvana pretty quickly because they are like just a very basic band, and obviously they don't really have a big discography because of Kurt being passed away. But I started getting into Alice in Chains, and I was like, oh wow, like these guys are a lot more in depth, developed. Like Jerry's guitar he's a better guitarist than Kurt was. Like his scales and everything, and it was more heavier, and my voice just seemed like it kind of like fit in with Lane's, and I was like, oh well, this is something I can easily sing. So I just started playing a lot of Alice in Chains songs. A lot of we played my other old band when I was in high school. We played like some Pearl Jam songs and stuff too. But that whole era, it was just like very vocalist based, and it just drew me to it. And the lyrics, obviously too. That's where I pull a lot of my lyrical influence, because I read a lot in metaphors, and a lot of the grunge era is very metaphoric and feeling based, and I feel like Between the Few is a good example of that, because anybody can take that song lyrically and make it their own, like give it their own purpose of what it might mean to them. And like Love Blind, that was a very hard challenge for me to write. One, it's because it's the happiest song that I ever wrote, but it's very direct, and it's very direct on one thing. And coming out of the '90s, there's not much of that. You don't really hear like any of the singles by Alice in Chains really be having a direct message. It's all very broad based, and so that's that's where my roots are. But I have been listening to a lot of more modern songs that are poppier, and then that's where I pull my influence from that. A lot like Shinedown. That's another big influence of mine, both vocally, frontmanship, and lyrically, because Brent's a good lyricist as well.
Yeah, I have to agree with Between the Few. I noticed that it has a melodic sound to it, but also aggression, and along with the meaningful lyrics. Yeah, I think that's why it connected with so many people. Like you said, the people were singing it at your shows, the next day.
It's crazy, because I mean, Brandon and I released our Luminous Element tracks like back in 2017 that we're currently working on restoring, and it was DIY. So it's like, a lot of people would give it a listen, but they never really paid attention to the lyrics much, because it's the quality wasn't there. But having the amount of people that Between the Few just reached, like on Facebook, and people reaching out to us, or we played a show and they listened to our music before we got there, and they're just like, this song resonated so hard with me, and and then they ask about like the lyrics and how it all kind of came to be, and it's crazy hearing people find some kind of hope or like place to rest themselves in the song. And that's a dream I've had since I was 15, and it's amazing to see it kind of all come together.
Yeah, I imagine that's one of the biggest rewards as a musician, or even as a creative person, is having your own work and your own feelings connect and mean something to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel it's like I'm sharing a part of myself, and with other people relating, it's like we're connected. We're feeling the same thing, and that's ultimately what music is about. It's like you're feeling that same emotion in that same period of time.
That's awesome. And once venues open up again, who's the dream band that you would love to go on tour with?
What do you think, Devin?
Oh, me? My dream band to go on tour with? It's probably way different than your dream band. All right, is that specific to like the genre, like what we'd fit into, and my dream of like bands that we're alike, or just any band I could go on tour with?
Any band. It doesn't have to fit your genre. Just if any
Oh,
your
okay.
favorite band or called you up and said you want to go on tour, who would you say yes to?
Okay. Well, I've been repping I the Mighty. They're awesome. They've been like my favorite band as of late. So if I could open up with them and then just like maybe spend a few hours on the tour bus, that'd be cool.
Pretty sweet.
But yeah.
Shinedown?
Yeah, I second that.
That's the generic. Yeah, the one we would
Generic.
fit in with. Well, yeah, we're rock, you know.
But dude, have you ever actually seen one of their live shows? It's fucking.
Oh, it's nuts.
I
They're
have not
ridiculous.
seen them
Sorry,
live. No.
I don't know if you can swear on this.
Oh yeah, you can say whatever.
I said the F word.
Oh my.
Yeah, no, and that's like just like Brandon said. If you ever been to a Shinedown show, that's like it's amazing because you'll even hear people who really love metal and love the energy of metal and all this stuff, and they're like, "Wow, my girlfriend took me to a Shinedown show, and I was like completely blown away." It's because they just have that. They have the entertainment aspect to them. They put on a good show.
It's like
Is there
Breaking
moshing at their shows?
No, not
Okay.
Maybe to like Sound of Madness. or
Total
something.
crowd
I've
kill.
seen like push pits, like small push pits and circle
Yeah,
pits.
nothing like too big, but
Yeah.
Love to see somebody just do like a spinning high kick on like one of their soft songs just to do it.
like if you only knew, if you only.
If you want to buy the ticket, I'll do the spin kick.
All right, gotcha. We'll have to record it.
I don't even know. Is moshing still a thing? Like, I feel like when I've gone to shows, security always stops the moshing as soon as it begins.
Yeah,
I
I
stopped
don't know if that's a
participating
thing
in
of the past or.
I think it's a thing in small bars.
I don't know. I was
You're the worst spot for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. At the House of Blues in Boston, they don't stop moshing really. They usually just get mad at like crowd surfers, but moshing they don't really mind. I was at a Mighty Boss Tones concert and they were moshing like hardcore. It was nuts, but they didn't really mind the moshing, but
Okay, because
they're a pretty laid back venue.
I went to a Doyle show to interview him, and two
Nice.
people were just kind of. They weren't even moshing. They were just kind of shoving each other, and the security guy just came and like tackled the person. And I'm like,
It's a little,
I guess there's no
Goodness.
moshing at this show.
Yeah,
I
no
guess
moshing
not.
there.
I wonder if that's an artist preference. I wonder if the artist's like, oh no, if anybody starts fighting, like hey, I mean, Dave Grohl
Oh yeah.
of the Foo Fighters, they'll be playing. As soon as Dave Grohl sees somebody pushes, he like stops the entire show. And he's like, all right, that guy right there, get him out of here. And then everybody cheers. And I mean, it's diff. I mean, it's different. I mean, it could be an artist like preference. I mean,
I could see that.
it's I don't know.
Maybe they don't want
I
their
don't know.
fans
It's
getting
different.
hurt or anything.
Yeah, like I don't think you'll see too much of that in the Shinedown show because they do have a lot of popular hits. It's like they have they have kids that come to these shows that want to see them for like Get Up and a lot of the newer singles that they had, and it's like you can't have like people just it's scary sometimes.
I've gotten kicked in the head by a crowd surfer before. It was not fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It happened to me. They had
Oh,
boots
man.
on too, so that was not fun.
I remember my very, very first show I ever attended. I didn't know what a mosh pit was supposed to be. Somebody
I
told
love
me
this freaking story, dude.
Somebody told me you just go in and you go and fight them. So I'm like 14 years old. I'm like, you just go fight somebody? What's up with that? So I like went in like, you know, like squared up, and I just punched somebody clean in the face. And fucking threw him right on the ground, and then I just kind of walked away because everybody was looking at me like I was insane. And now I understand why, but
Teenage angst.
I just didn't know. They were like, "Oh yeah, you just go in and fight people." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah, fight.
man."
My kind of party.
Say no more. Yeah.
So what was the last show that you guys all saw as a fan before the quarantine thing started?
Who did I
Oh,
can't even remember. Oh, I saw Jason Bonham, who is the son of John Bonham, drummer for Led
nice.
Zeppelin. He does like a cover of Led Zeppelin, but it's insane. They are so talented. But I think that was the last show I went to. I think. I have no idea. I think that's the last show.
I saw Saint Sonia and Aaron Lewis at the Broken String in Foxborough. That was in December, I think, like a couple days before Christmas. That was a good show. Saint
very
Sonia
cool.
is I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna go,
Yeah.
but I'm not 21. Stupid venue.
I
So
know.
mad. It was like a couple days before. I was like, "You ready for this?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I went onto the event page. It was like 21 plus. I was like, "Oh shit."
Oh, just a
I was
I
baby.
know when I bought your ticket. You know?
Yeah. That's what I get from being a little boy.
Oh man.
What about you, Brad? What's your last show?
I don't even know.
Think. Yeah, I don't even know either. I'm like,
It's so long ago.
hey Brandon, was that frantic one we went to with Kaylee the last show you were at, like to watch?
I think so. That's what I'm thinking. I
'Cause
I don't get to go to a lot of shows because up until
Yeah.
very, very recently, Lindsay and I are on opposite schedules, and she works overnights on weekends, so I have a hard time getting babysitters. But
Yeah.
now she's on weekdays, but everything's shut down. So
True that.
Do your kids think it's cool that you're in a band? Are they
Oh, they
your
love it.
biggest fans?
They are
most likely, yes, yeah. They sing the songs every day. You know, there's some mornings where I wake up and they have us playing on the Alexa thing, and I'm just like, oh, geez.
Aw.
Kaylee can sing lyrics to like songs that we're demoing that I don't even remember what they are.
Yeah.
Because we just haven't worked on them in a long time. She starts singing something. I'm like, what is that? She's just like, duh, Dad, it's your song. I'm like,
Guess you'll have to be your personal assistant.
yeah, I know. Yeah, they've done a few shows. Kaylee more than Bella. Bella's still a little young, but actually, Kaylee's in the it's cut of live videos for Oblivion that Nate Robichaud shot for us.
Oh,
Yeah, right at the end.
She's in one of them, like up on Lindsay's shoulders, like.
Wow.
Yeah.
With their headphones on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the headphones are like bigger than her head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
She's like, she loves it.
She's been our little mascot since the beginning.
You'll have to cherish those
Oh,
moments. Well, before we sign off, is there anything else that you guys want to promote or mention?
So, what is it? May now?
Something like that.
So we actually have a couple songs that, well, we had a song that we were going to shoot a music video for before everything shut down. We have an acoustic version of Between the Few that we were going to shoot a music video for and get that out, but we're waiting to be able to shoot a music video for that. Change Everything. Some people might have seen that at our live shows. That song is going to be coming out this year. And we're really excited for that. We just got the master back from Chris Paquette, our producer, and we were completely blown away. Like, yeah, we are very excited for that song, and we think a lot of people are going to relate to it. Like my brother, he came to one of my shows. He just moved out to Michigan, but he came to one of my shows before he left, and like that song, with us just playing it live, stuck with him. And he's like, the chorus, he's like, what's that song? Like that, it talks about like changing your life and like taking chances. And And I'm like, oh, that's Change Everything. He's like, when's it coming out? I'm like, I don't know, because we gotta shoot the music video for it and everything. But he loves it, and it means a lot to him because he just took a chance to move out to Detroit, and he's working for the Detroit Tigers right now. And
wow.
like he was nervous about going there because we're from here, and we don't know anybody over there. And I'm like, just do it, like and that's one thing I found about this band. It's like we take chances. We take chances all the time. Like, I mean, our bus has 300,000 miles every time we go.
We're taking
to
the
chance.
Oh.
But it's the risk, and it's the reward from this risk of like you're jumping with 2 feet in. And in 2018, when we kind of started this band, a guy that I work with really helped me out of my hard time, and he's a really good friend. He's my friend Asa, and he's like, he's like, what do you want? What do you want in this life? And I'm like, well, I love playing music. It's who I am. And he's like, all right, well, make it happen. He's like, anything that comes up, jump 2 feet in and ask questions later. And anything you do in life, like whether it's like, like, I don't know, like maybe you're looking at a house, or maybe you are trying to plan a vacation and you're like, oh, well, I don't know if I like this. Go there, do it. Like you got something will cross your path along this way, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, like this is awesome. I'm so happy I did this. And it's like, that's how I felt about after releasing Between the Few EP. It's like we jumped in, and then it's just like all these things started coming. We're like, all right, let's do it. Like Indiana, we're like, we've never been to Indiana. It's gonna take us 16 hours to get there, but let's do it. Like we jumped in there. Adam was in Florida with his family, so he flew to Indianapolis airport. We picked him up there in the bus, and then we drove to our show in Muncie, Indiana. And then like we had a show in West Virginia the next day, so we played that show and drove right through the night all the way to West Virginia, played the show, went to got back in our bus, drove to Boston because we were playing on Sunday, and then drove home. And I went to work. Me and Brandon, and I think everybody went to work back on Monday.
Well, I didn't. I went to sleep. I went to bed.
Wow.
Y'all went to work. I went to bed.
That drive back to Boston,
Oh,
that was rough. That
Yeah,
traffic
that was
was
fun.
insane.
We got stuck in traffic. Oh, it was brutal. But that was
It was exhausting.
it was so cool. It's like we did it. It's like, oh man, we're just gonna have to do it. It's like if you just put yourself into it and you say you're gonna do it, do it. Yes, like first time to North Carolina, we made it there. We played the show. We're driving on the way back and blew a tire on a Sunday. Never pop a tire in the South
Oh
on
my
a Sunday.
God.
Everything's closed.
It's awful.
Oh, that was rough.
that was before my time. I missed that.
Yeah, that was before you.
I missed that whole.
Yeah, he's a
ordeal.
little luckier. Luckier than us.
We had to get the bus towed to get a new tire on it because we didn't have a spare yet. And
Oh my gosh.
there's a picture somewhere of me just staring at the bus, tipping off of the tow truck. Just
Yeah.
you can see legitimate fear in every inch of my body. Like,
All of our gear, everything in there, we're like, oh no, like this
Yeah.
he's
is
like, oh yeah, we're not supposed to be towing this. It's too heavy, but I'll do it for you. And then the whole thing starts tipping, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And
The
as
whole
he's lifting-
flatbed, it was like,
as he's lifting it up, it's grinding on the bottom. Our bumpers just like all the way up. We're like, oh no, oh no.
Did everything
I would've
work out
just
in the end?
Yes.
Yeah, we ended up.
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah, we got some BBQ. That is an actual restaurant. Yeah.
Barbecue always saves the day.
Oh yeah,
That
that was the
was
best
good.
barbecue I've ever had in my
a
life.
good follow-up.
Yeah, what was that guy's name? Papa Tom?
Papa Tom.
Papa Tom.
It was just Tom, but I called him Papa Tom because our Virginian
Good
dad.
dude.
Yeah, he saved us from our struggle. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of stuff in the works. We're also hoping for another song towards the end of the year that's very PTSD based, and that's another thing that we all at heart are very set on, caring about our veterans and everything. And we're very excited we're going to be shooting a music video for that this summer. So once everything lifts, we can get with our videographer and shoot that as well. But we've got tons of stuff in the works. We're headed back to the studio. We're going to be writing all year because, you know, with the lack of shows and everything. But we're not stopping, and we've got tons of stuff ready, and we're excited.
We got Tom's stuff.
Tons of stuff.
Tom's
Tons of
stuff.
stuff. That's what I like to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited for that, and I appreciate the time you guys took to chat with me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
You guys
likewise.
have
My
a
pleasure.
fun weekend.
Is you as well, and hopefully you don't get snow like we will today.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping the snow will stay away from me.
I'm gonna go outside in a second and go fight the storm clouds, so I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that, Devin.
Use my abilities to fight them away.
Just get a fan out there and blow it all away.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Home Depot real quick.
Oh no. But yes, thank you very much for having us. And,
Yeah, thank you.